Welcome to our new podcast, Same House, Different Eras. I'm your host, Shanita, and this is my co-host. She's going to introduce herself.
Crystal.
My 15-year-old. And we decided to create a podcast just talking about the everyday things that's going on and the difference of how some situations between our time and their time now as millennials and all those other X-generated, I don't keep up, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So we're going to get into our first topic in our first episode for today, which is going to be about making friends in the social life of the era between our time and now. And even though our school lives were so different, some things stay the same. The excitement, the learning, friendship, and coming home to this house. So, Crystal, to get us started, we're going to have some questions here going down memory lane, and we're going to compare our stories and kind of see the difference in how it would change from my era to yours. So the first question is in regards to how you met your first best friend. So tell us about that.
I was 8. And we met because we had the same religion. But really, it was 2 of my friends.
Okay, and from there, what made you consider her your best friend?
I guess it was because we had the same religion, so it kind of helped us because we had both the same things, and we got to know each other more.
And what was some of the things in addition to that helped y'all become closer?
Growing, maturing.
I mean, like, what are some things you liked it about her?
I don't know. I guess that we just clicked. I don't know.
But how did you click?
I don't know how we clicked. I think just by having the same things and getting to know each other and
is there certain activities y'all enjoyed that y'all both liked it? Like music or...
Well, we don't like the same music. They like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story for another day.
I think it just clicked by just because we're about the same age, and just as we all going through things, so we get to talk to each other about how hard it is. I think it just we clicked because we all going through the same thing.
Well, for me, I met my first best friend when I was in 2nd grade, and I don't remember actually how we start talking. I don't remember. I feel like it had something to do with either maybe I shared a pencil with her and we just start talking because she didn't have a pencil or something. It was some scenario like that. I just don't remember because it's been so long ago. But yeah, I do remember though it was 2nd grade. Did you have a special way to hang out or a friendship ritual that y'all still do till this day with each other that's like something traditional for y'all?
We don't really have anything traditional. We just always make sure we have a sleepover.
Well, that's traditional, having a sleepover every so often to catch up and just reconnect again and stuff. So yeah, that's my ritual. Well, my ritual was, well, we kind of did it once we got older. We would always go to Applebee's every at least 3 months or so. We would go to Applebee's and get our favorite appetizer with the spinach dip, which used to be really, really good at one point. And we would always get a blondie at the end of it. So that was our little friendship tradition for a while. Who was the friend you spent the most time with growing up, you would say?
You guys spent 2 friends, so that's who I spend time.
So
I have a new friend.
Your trio.
Spend time with now, but besides them, yeah.
So you would say the main two is your trio.
Yeah, and my new friend that I have.
Did you make friends at school, in the neighborhood, or somewhere else? That
I met most of my friends from having the same religion in school.
Yeah, that's about the same for me. Did it take a long time to become close friends with them, or it was kind of automatic?
Well, because we had the same religion, that was easy. But for school, no, because I had to get to know people and see who was not jerks. So
let's dig into that a little bit for those that may be listening. That's not only newly, of course, going into high school and middle school, but for those even now that's in there that's kind of having problems maneuvering when it comes to friendships. Like, take us kind of through a little bit about.
I feel like for me it was a little bit easier because first of all, the friend I met in 7th grade, after a while of not having the best friends, it takes patience, and especially because middle school kind of sucks. So it kind of takes a while to find that true friend, and then once we had her, we've been friends since then, and I feel like it's easier if you have a friend from middle school to high school because it kind of, y'all can help each other through it. But if you don't, I think you'll be fine. I think it's about you gotta kind of open up. You kind of gotta put yourself out there, because I don't put myself out there that much, but I do try to talk to people, and that's how I met even more friends as the high school year went. So I think just being more open and don't be scared, and just be careful who you talk to and make sure they're not, bad or at all. But I do think you should open up and talk more, because that's how you get your friends.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, when you have somebody that you know already from prior school, that kind of helps you not be so nervous. Because even I remember when I was in high school, I think my high school was I always say my best time, because both of my high schools I went to, I knew people already from the neighborhood, and then when I went to my school I actually graduated from, I knew them from a school I went to years prior. So that does kind of help soften the blow a little bit when you have some familiar faces, because you don't feel as nervous. So the next segment we're going to do is hanging out and activities. So on that one, the question I wanted to ask was, what was your favorite thing to do after school? So what is something that you love doing after school, like after you kind of wind down for the day?
Well, after school I'll just be at my house. But a lot of things I do with my friends. We try really every other week, every other week we go to a game. That's where I hang out. So we go to the basketball games from my school, or just go over to our house and just hang out, or out to eat.
Yeah, that's kind of mostly what we did too, is basically hang out, go out to eat. Did I really go to any? I didn't really go to any games. I think only really one event I went to for high school, and that was I actually took my best friend with me because I didn't want to go by myself. We went to the homecoming, in my freshman year, which I didn't care for, and I left after 5 minutes because it was just too much going on there that I didn't want to be a part of. So yeah, the point, I think that's the only school thing I really went to. I didn't really start going to school events like that until I actually had you, and that's when I started going to like when you had your instrument play and all that stuff, and like your dance things. I think that's the most stuff I actually been to at a school event.
I think school events is fun if you have friends with you. Of course, if you're going by yourself, then that just sucks.
Yeah, and I think it's important that you also have people with you that you know gonna actually be looking out for you, because everyone is not always your best interest just because you know them in school.
And that's why too I say, if you can like have that friend from middle school, because it's more, you can trust them because you knew them for a little while, so it's more trust. Because in high school it's different because you don't know any of them people yet, and you don't know how they are, so it's kind of just, it's a little difficult to make friends. But you will make friends as long as you open up and everything. But I'm just saying, because if you don't know how these people are, it's kind of hard if you don't have anybody to go in high school with.
Yeah, and that kind of ties into the question I was about to ask: how did friends support you during school? So that's, saying that is like basically a form of showing that you get that support that you need while you're in school, even if it's just that one person. You have that support system during the tough times and things you may deal with during school. Now we're going to go to then versus now comparison, and we're going to talk about who had it harder making friends than are now. So who do you feel like it was harder to make friends in our time from the things me and your dad share, or you feel like it's harder to make friends now? And
I don't know. I think it's equal. Yeah, I think it's both hard. It's just, I feel like now, well, I don't know. I think it's hard in general. And I don't think it matters even if it was back then and now. It's just hard because people are weird. So
I think the access to friends are easier.
Well,
but it's about the selection of people is the problem. I think it has become
now when it comes to social media. So that's why I don't personally think, I never have. I mean, that's for anybody. I mean, that's your opinion, what you do. But I don't think you should be friends with people on social media, because
you don't really
you never know if they're
scamming
or if they're weirdos, or if they just, it's better to have friends you know in real life than people.
And that's kind of something that I follow, which is I find interesting. Even back then, even though social media wasn't all that major back then, but the little social media that we did have, I personally always mostly befriended people that I knew already. I rarely befriended somebody that I'd never met, or somebody in another state and all that stuff. All the people that I was friends with, I knew for real already, and we friended each other on our pages. So that's something I kind of always follow even younger, because it was even creeps and weirdos then, even though I know now it's like times 10, but it was just similar things going on back then. So yeah, for me personally, I always took that same precaution. Which era had the best hangout spot? So I know you know a lot of the spots that me and your dad talked about, like McDonald's, Chuck E. Cheese, Fun World was the number one.
I guess y'all, because y'all had it cheaper, and y'all didn't have the phone, so y'all didn't really want to.
We had phones. See,
no,
one thing about kids these days,
I'm saying
they act like we was in the Stone Age.
No, like social media. Like, social media is addicting, so you're going to be scrolling on there. if you didn't have, since you didn't have that, you didn't really want to be on the phone. You more wanted to be out with your friends.
True, I do feel like because it wasn't as booming, we had more outdoor interactions than now. I feel like, because even for me personally, locally, I feel like even when just driving past, I don't even see the parks and stuff filled up like it used to be. Because when back in our era, in the 90s to early 2000s, people were still playing in parks. I know I love going to the park. I love, even just being outside on the porch was something. Listening to music, inviting a friend over, and y'all just hang out on the porch and talk, listen to music, play jump rope. It was stuff we just did outside until we got tired, made sure we was back home before the street lights come on.
And I feel like I don't know, describe. I feel like life for us now, you're maturing. You don't even feel like being a kid anymore after a while. It's like you mature faster than you should because of everything we just go through, how mean people can be, social media and everything. It just, you don't really get, it don't feel like, I feel like for me, 8 to I say when I was little till I say really till 11, and then after that everything just went downhill of just growing up, because in that age you don't really care about anything, you're just having fun. But 12 and up, I think that's when you start, everything just is complicated.
Well, that's interesting you actually made that comment, because I was just about to ask, would you rather grow up in my era or your era, and why? So that kind of explains it a little bit. But
I feel like probably, if I could, I would go back then. Because I feel like back then it was just more, people were just more, not kinder. I don't know. I just always want to be back then than now. Because I don't feel like, for me, because of how I am, I'm not for this generation. I would rather be back then generation.
Yeah, you have said that a lot. You definitely have said that a lot. Of saying you feel like that our generation just had more things kind of going on compared to now. It's just all about the social media and all about just things that, all these crazy things, which I can.
And another thing why I think it's so, why us young people don't want to go to that many places, is because how crazy life is now, where how crazy people are, and it's kind of hard to really be out because you're scared what people are going to do, because people are really nuts now.
You feel like you can enjoy yourself as much.
There's a lot of people can't even go to the park because people be doing things there.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed us going a trip down memory lane. Hit like, subscribe, and comment your favorite school memory, or even tell us which era you survived better in. And I hope you guys enjoyed our first episode. And remember, again, like, share, subscribe. And I will see you guys next episode, and hope you guys stay safe. Peace.